This is Nikki J, and I'm back on the block. Come along with me. Let's go.
We going brick by brick, house by house. Came a long way from getting off the block, but getting back on the block. Yeah, come on. We getting back on the block. Yeah, we Nikki J, y'all. Yeah, Nikki J, y'all.
Hi, I'm Nicole Jenkins. I am the president of Back on the Block Charitable Foundation. I started this foundation because I found that there's a need for housing in the urban core. What I didn't want to do is differentiate between race and ethnicities as it pertains to socioeconomics. One thing I learned about people nowadays, whether it's white, black, Chinese, Jewish, it's a lot of people in this world that are living in poverty, but it's also a lot of people in this world that maybe work 2 or 3 jobs and they bring home on a yearly their yearly annual income is between $25,000 to $30,000. And when you add that up, that's not a lot of money. But they're paying out majority of their money in housing. And so I feel like it's too many houses that are abandoned in St. Louis City that can be given to families. My whole goal for Back on the Block is to take houses out of the urban core, purchase the homes through St. Louis City, and help families become homeowners at a very low cost. But I also felt that it's time to take community back. I grew up between the 5100 and 5200 block of Terry and between Union and Kings Highway. And when I grew up and when I lived on that street, it was a very nice street. I want to share a little bit about my neighborhood that I grew up in. My bus stop was right there on the corner of Union and Terry. Every day at 5 o'clock in the morning, I got bused to Rockwood School District. So my mother wanted me to have a good education. But within my community, the first 7 years of my life living here, it was fun. Everybody was family. It was a middle class street, families that took pride in their community.
Well, I wanted to buy a home in the city, and it was a beautiful neighborhood at the time. And so it was a nice house, nice buy, and I had a nice big backyard to raise my children, and so it was comfortable.
Yeah, I always used to run down here, do backwards flips off the steps, swing on the poles right here, and we just had a whole bunch of fun.
A lot of fun.
Just a bunch of fun. I remember a lot of things.
Remember my mama used to be dancing right there?
Right here on the, yeah.
Doing this. She be out on Saturday. Everybody around this time. So it's 9 o'clock, 9:18 now. Around this time, everybody from this house all the way down to the corner was outside cutting their grass.
Yep, jamming.
People out dancing, music on, kids out. We was helping our parents.
It was just fun.
It was a lot of fun.
We was all family, pretty much. We were.
Well, the neighborhood was full of joy and happiness, and everyone got along good. And as years went on, people moved out, people got older, and some people in the neighborhood left, and some didn't come back, and nobody else moved back in, so the neighborhood went kind of down. And
one day I walked down that street, and I was brought to tears. I've never seen Terry look like that a day in my life. My high school years, gangs were on the rise. And with gangs, about territory, about murders. One of my closest friends got murdered in front of me. So how's the street now?
It's the quietest street over here. Somebody got shot a couple days, like last week. But it's the quietest street over here though. But there's still a lot of kids over here. Still need a lot of help over here too. Okay. Is it a lot of older people further down the street? Mm-hmm. There's a lot of older people down the street, but this section right here, yeah, this the baddest section right here.
From what?
From like
right here.
Yeah, from like this black truck.
Okay.
On down. This where like the younger crowd be. So
Okay.
Before it's everything else, this the quietest block over here, though.
And what I did see, though, is that people were happy that resided on that street. They were happy in culture, but they weren't happy with what was going on. The houses were very ran down. The yards, the landscaping, it just was, it was horrendous.
My mom would never have houses like that. Never. She put her blood, sweat, and tears in those houses. She really did. My mom, every Saturday, she was out here. She had the homeless people staying, the drunk. She had everybody out here. She gave everybody a job. They cut her grass. They did her steps. My mom made sure that her houses was okay. Everybody that lived over here, we took pride in our neighborhood.
I'm sure everybody was like your mom.
I've never seen a street like this ever. It's a lot of good memories.
Well, living in this neighborhood was just, it's, like I said, it's home. But now, since, you know, I've been gone since 95, I want to say, because I moved to Mississippi, it's just, things just changed around here. Like, there were no killings. We didn't have any problems with the police coming up and down the street. It wasn't nothing. We were like family from one end to the next, and we were all family. We looked out for each other. It was just, you could wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning just to come sit out on the porch, just to, you know, be with friends and stuff like that. So it's just, I'm just, you know, this is my home. Like, I grew up in here. The memories that me and my mother, you know, this is where she found her husband. So it's kind of like just a whole bunch of memories in this home. And it's just sad to see that, you know, our house went down.
The owners are not taken care of. Some of them is vandalized, grass not cut, neglect. A lot of that need to be took care of. And if some way if this organization can help restore the neighborhood, bring life back into it, it'd be nice.
But this community was so cultured that we got through anything. And I feel like I made it out of this community. But now it's time for me to give back.
And so I felt that there's a need, and there's a huge need for people like me that have made it out of St. Louis City and the urban core to come back and help communities like Terry, to help North St. Louis City, to help South St. Louis City. And again, I really want to emphasize on Back on the Block is not about color, the color of your skin, or your religion. Back on the Block is about those that are less fortunate. And my goal is to really bring the city back and help people that are less fortunate become homeowners. I have this whole initiative where you can own a home the price of a car, $15,000 or less. So that's what Back on the Block is. You're watching Back on the Block, and we'll be back right after this break.
I was sick of working dead-end jobs. I wanted to have a career. Better Rock gave me the hands-on experience to build my future. Them teachers are very good.
The purpose of them coming to Veteran is to learn a trade. As an instructor, I'm gonna be there for them.
They just made me feel like a brand new person.
He's been working with me for some years, and I'm proud of him and the things that they have instilled in him.
I want to follow in my dad's footsteps. But now I figured out through Veteran, I could be better than my dad. Veteran had really changed my life.
We going brick by brick, house by house. Came a long way from getting off the block, but getting back on the block. Yeah, come on. We getting back on the block. Yeah, Nikki J, y'all. Yeah, Nikki J, y'all.
So in July of 2016, I came up with this idea. Within a week, I couldn't sleep. I had to find my niche. And what was my niche? My niche, I know that I love helping people. I have always helped people. But I wanted to give something back. I just didn't want to volunteer anymore. I didn't want to sit on any organizations anymore, any boards anymore. I wanted to do something that really counts. And so my niche was, what if I can just give a person, a mother, or a family that has less, a home? What if I can help them get a home? And I know that they can't afford this home through a mortgage company. So how can I have families be more accessible to purchasing homes. So I came up with this idea. I called Andre Holm and I said, Andre, I want to put this on TV because I want to start a charitable foundation. And he said, well, what is it? So I sat down with him and I said, I need you to help me get a TV show. I want to put it on TV. I want to go on Terry Street, my old street, but I want to do this for America. This is my long-term goal. My long-term goal was to become a consultant around America and purchase homes from the city, fix them up, revitalize them, and sell them to families. Here I am at the Civil Courts building. Just got finished bidding on 2 homes. 2 houses down, 1 house to go, an appointment on August the 11th for the home I want on Terry as well. Great process. We're trying to have everyone in the city of St. Louis afford a home, the price of a car versus a car. I think you should have a home. There is a need. There's a big need, and there's a lot of poverty within the city of St. Louis and just all around St. Louis. St. Louis City is beautiful. It has beautiful homes. One thing about growing up in a city versus suburban area, and I live in a suburban area now, my neighbors, we really don't talk to each other. Growing up in the city, although I'm an only child, I had sisters, I had cousins, and they weren't biological, but this is how we looked out for each other. I had babysitters, I had aunts, I had grandmas that weren't mine biologically, but they were mine. So I need to film this if I want my charitable foundation to grow, and also I need to film it because I want people to see exactly what's going on, and maybe they will have a heart, because it's some that are less fortunate, that people that live in the more suburban America, they don't see. Like me, I live in suburban America, but I understand the other side because I am from West St. Louis City, but it's those that have never been out of suburban America. And I feel it's a need. And us as people, we have to start caring. I see signs we must stop killing each other. Now is the time. So many people have asked, how do you qualify for a Back on the Block charitable foundation home? So the qualification process is pretty simple. As long as you have a job and you work 40 hours a week, or if you're a 2-parent household and maybe the mom works 20 hours and the husband works 40 hours. That's fine. But also, what you have to do is you have to volunteer, and you're going to sign an agreement. You have to volunteer at one of the local community schools at least twice a month, 2 hours. So that's 4 hours a month, and it can be done because I do want to build a community. So once you are selected as under the Home Ownership Foundation, you know what? You, the viewers, you will see the homeowner be presented with my pink hard hat, Back on the Block. And yes, men, you wore pink as well. And you will come in, you will work as a regular worker. If you want this house, this is what you're gonna do, because I'm gonna work. You're going to come in and work with us, and you are going to make this house yours. You're going to give us some ideas. You're going to learn about keeping up a home, and you're going to learn about the community that surrounds you.
I would absolutely like to see this house looking like mansions, $1 million street. That's what I would like to see.
And the whole idea for you to come in and help with this home is it's going to make you familiar with your house. You're going to know what went wrong in your house, what can go wrong in your house, and it'll help you deal with this house a little bit better. This house has always had a plumbing problem, always, and a sewer problem. Concrete on the porch is solid. The porch can be tuck pointed. We can take this, scrape all this off. There's no need of restoring if we're not going to do it the right way. But that's what you're gonna do when you get a house under my charitable foundation. You'll email me a letter about yourself. And my goal is to have as many emails as I can get. That way, for each home, I'm gonna be reading these emails. I want to know about yourself. I wanna know if you're a single mother. I wanna know And I'm not going to judge you. So understand, I'm not going to judge you if your child's father is incarcerated. I'm not going to judge you if you're a father who's been incarcerated and you want better, and you do understand, you understand better, and then that you'll change your life around, because we all can do that. But I want to know about the person. And I want to come out and I want to have a face-to-face with you, and I want you to tell me about you, and I will tell you about me. And that's my goal, and that's my selection process. So my goal is to buy house by house, fix it up, sell it to a family, purchase the next house. So then I thought, well, how can I keep the cost low if I'm going to be doing all the work on my own? I just started researching. I said, you know what, Job Corps. So Job Corps is a free training program that's it's actually funded by the government. And it's to help students as early as, some of them are as young as 16 years old. And it teaches students how to do various trades: plumbing, electricity, drywall, plaster. It teaches them a lot. So, and they get a high school diploma, they get a GED. So from then on, I just felt as if this charitable foundation will succeed, and I will help bring back hope in the urban core, because there's a lot of hope that's gone, and it's a lot of hope that needs to happen in order to help people. You're watching Back on the Block, and we'll be back right after this break.
I was sick of working dead-end jobs. I wanted to have a career. Veteran gave me the hands-on experience to build my future. Them teachers are very good.
The purpose of them coming to Veteran is to learn a trade. As an instructor, I'm gonna be there for them.
They just made me feel like a brand new person.
He's been working with me for some years, and I'm proud of him and the things that they have instilled in him.
I want to follow in my dad's footsteps, but now I figured out through Veteran, I could be better than my dad. Veteran had really changed my life.
We going brick by brick, house by house. Came a long way from getting off the block, but getting back on the block. Yeah, come on, we getting back on the block. Yeah, we Nikki J, y'all. Yeah, Nikki J, y'all.
Okay, so back on the block, I'm going to have a segment, and it's going to be called Getting to Know Your Block. Like on Terry, I got to know something about my block. Well, let's say West St. Louis City was a thriving community. You had families that were homeowners and that owned small businesses, such as Ted Foster, the funeral home. He stayed down the street from me. So the homes that my mother owned, they had the same sewer lines. They were connected, same garages, and they were always sold as a package deal. But if you look at both of the houses, which will be featured on the show, so watch out, one of the homes both of the homes were owned by someone that was related to Anheuser-Busch, the Anheuser-Busch beer company. And you can tell because the houses are a little different. One house is a shotgun house, it's a straight through, which was the maid quarters. The other house that my mother and I lived in, that home was way bigger. It had an off-season sun porch, fireplace, finished basement. So you can tell that it was a little different. So segments like that you will see on Back on the Block. Let's make history. Let's learn about our culture and learn about us and learn about where we live at, because it's a lot of history in St. Louis, and it's a lot of history in cities all over. I want to take men that are in the community that don't have a job. I want them to become the landscapers. So you gonna come help us out?
Yes, ma'am. You know, I got you.
We're gonna need people to cut the grass.
I got you.
Bobby Robinson, he been on this street 10 years. He mows this yard, this lot right here. Chris Carter, you hear this? The motor on is a success. So he mows that. He already put in for it. And that's my whole way of building community and building up hope in the urban cores.
Yeah, I want to clean up the whole neighborhood. This is our neighborhood.
This is where we grew up at.
Why I want to help, because this is our city, St. Louis. St. Louis really need a lot of help. So I'm going to do whatever to save my city. If it take a year or 20 years, I'm going to be for my city.
It kind of went down when I was a youngster, but as I got older,
I found the opportunity, and I love my neighborhood to where I wanted to rebuild my neighborhood because I love my neighborhood.
There will always be a tip of the day on Back on the Block. And the tip of the day, it can go from beautifying your neighborhood. It can landscaping, teach you how when it rains for your basement not to flood. I'll have various people come in and give us tips from all over.
The walls look pretty good shape. Just look like some bubbling of the paint. Just surface repair. Looks like just a little woodwork repair.
So we can replace this piece of hardwood floor. We can get rid of the nails, sand this hardwood floor down. We can say, because the floor is intact. We also will learn how to work together as a community and help each other out. And that will be the tip of the day. And what we will be doing is beautifying. We'll be beautifying the street, house by house, and just helping each other out through the tip of the day. I'll be highlighting Job Corps students, and I feel that it's very important to highlight them. You know, these students, we might look at Job Corps and says, yeah, it's a free educational it's a free educational center for students. And even my stigma when I was growing up, we thought that Job Corps was for children that just didn't want to go to a traditional school. But that's really not it. Once I learned about Job Corps, I learned that it's students that traditional schools just aren't for them. She's 16, she's plastering, stucco, she's drywalling, taping, mudding, framing. Jasmine,
not to mention, I've been here for 5 months and I'm forming in my trade.
You're a professional.
You just broke my heart. You are a baby.
A lot of people think, based on the simple fact, Job Corps is like the last minute. No, it's not. It's a turnaround. Like me being here, me living on campus, keeping me off the street.
Stay tuned and learn more about Job Corps. And also, I will be highlighting a student from Job Corps, and you will get to learn about this student and walk into their shoes and learn about why they chose Job Corps. And some of the reasons why they chose Job Corps, I swear, it's many of us that have never had to walk in their shoes. But they have turned their life around, and it's very important that we learn about the students from Job Corps. You're watching Back on the Block, and we'll be back right after this break.
I was sick of working dead-end jobs. I wanted to have a career. Veteran gave me the hands-on experience to build my future. Them teachers are very good.
The purpose of them coming to Veteran is to learn a trade. As an instructor, I'm gonna be there for them.
They just made me feel like a brand new person.
He's been working with me for some years, and I'm proud of him and the things that they have instilled in him.
I want to follow in my dad's footsteps, but now I figured out through Veteran, I could be better than my dad. Veteran had really changed my life.
We going brick by brick, house by house. Came a long way from getting off the block, but getting back on the block. Yeah, come on, we getting back on the block. Yeah, Nikki J, y'all. Yeah, Nikki J, y'all.
My history. I was a young mother. My senior year in high school, I had my son. But I've always been diverse in culture. And I've always known who I was. But I also know that there are people that live in the urban core who face a lot of problems, who never had my upbringing. So I feel that there is a need to help out. My niche is to help out in housing. There's a big need in housing. There's a lot of people that are homeless. There's a lot of single mothers that feel like they just can't get ahead. But I also feel like this story needs to be told because I was a single mother at a young age. And although I had family support, sometimes the struggles, and they really are struggles, they can get overwhelming. I've never had in my heart or had on my heart so much pressure that I do now. I feel like I can do better and I have done better. So now it's time for me to help children in this community, young mothers, my friends' parents that still live in this community. It's time for them to bring this neighborhood back. Because of my family support, I did better than most, but I also think about those that never had family support. And so when I see single mothers with maybe just one child and she's struggling, and I can see on the hurt on her face, it really breaks my heart.
I think that this would be a great opportunity for moms that don't have, that are single moms that need homes. I think this will be a great opportunity for them, low cost, that it just make the neighborhood a safer place.
So my charitable foundation will be able to at least help that mother out with housing, or at least help a mother who is a single mother at a younger age, or not a young age, but just feel like she can't get ahead. It will bring a smile on her face and bring her some sort of hope. I don't like to see a kid hurting or wanting, and I feel a safe roof over their head can take away a lot of that pain for both their parents and themselves. And that's why I'm pushing for Back on the Block to be one of the largest charitable foundations across America.
Well, I want to see the property value go up, the neighborhood be more comfortable and more peaceful, and just really just be like a normal place to live.
Because I know if I lived on Terry now, I wouldn't want to live here. I wouldn't want to live in this area looking like this. I just wouldn't. This is no place for anybody to call home. But yet you still have older people that has been here. They've been here since I've been 9 years old. But they're here and they won't go anywhere. So that says a lot about our community and what they stand for. So why not bring people that really want to be homeowners, young mothers that probably only make $30,000 a year. Let's bring them into the community.
Something to come home to.
Yes, let's bring hope into the community. I think our community, what we're lacking is hope as well. Right. This is not Chesterfield, this is not Creve Coeur, this is not Richmond Heights, but this can be our home. These homes are beautiful. They can be restored. And they can look just like they did when I grew up in this community.
I want to see the neighborhood peaceful. I want to see old people come outside and drink their lemonade. I want to be able to see the kids running back and forth across the street, shooting basketball. I just want to see a whole change instead of violence. And if we fix these houses up, I mean, you feel how you look. So if the houses look good, it'll give a better feel to the neighborhood.
And that's why I'm back on the block. I'm going to restore this block. Brick by brick, house by house, block by block.
This your girl, Nikki J, and I am back on the block.
So you gotta say this, I gotta give you a shirt, because we gotta say back on the block.
Back on the block.
We back on the block.
Back on the block.
That's right. But you gonna pull them pants up.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't have any young man around me with his pants down. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, I'm coming to knock on your door, even if your father isn't here.
Nice meeting you. Damn, we got to start recording.
Time. No, the hell you did.
I'm just playing, girl.